most of the profitable traders that I know, they actually spend a lot less time looking at charts.
You have your A plus setups, B setups, C setups, and only taking the A kind of setups. This will make your trading much more mechanical.
So let's say if we treat trading as a business, right? The losses are just expenses. So if we could look at it that way, then the losses are actually necessary.
The low time frames, the volatility is over romanticized when actually we should be focusing and glorifying more the preparation. Hi, my name is Juan, and this is Dixon.
Hi.
We're the founders of TradeX Prop. And today we'll be giving our feedback on a trading thread that we found on Reddit. So let's take a look. The thread is titled, "I'm too dumb to be a trader." Not looking for any sympathy, rather looking to run here after coming to realization that after 3 years of trading, I am deciding to give up. I'm generally just not smart or emotionally smart enough to be a trader. I would say that to become a profitable trader, you would need to be pretty clever as you're competing against top qualified people every day who will literally destroy you if you lack the emotional intelligence. Okay, what do you think?
So is that like after 3 years, then he decided to
Yeah.
give up on the entire journey?
Yeah.
I mean, like from my experience, I think that's a case for a lot of traders.
Yeah, that's what happens to most people.
I mean, the first year is all sunshine and rainbows, right? It's like, just started out this journey and everything. So I think 3 years is about time that the first wave of traders give up. In my experience. Like,
My take on this is that, when I look at this guy, at least he did identify actually the reason why he is not getting the results that he wants. So he shows some level of self-awareness, which already puts him in a position better than the average retail trader. So he mentioned here, they will destroy you if you lack emotional intelligence. And he also said that he is generally not emotionally smart enough. So for me, if I were to address this problem, I would just tell him, you have identified your problem, then we'll need to create a framework to address this issue. So you don't have emotional intelligence. So what this means is probably you have FOMO, you have fear of missing out on trades, you revenge trades, or you're just not consistent emotionally, right? So to address this, I think maybe having a trading system that's well structured, that you can statistically prove to have an edge in the market, and having a very well-defined trading system, well-defined trade setups. You have your A plus setups, B setups, C setups, and only taking the A kind of setups. This will make your trading much more mechanical and removes the human aspect. Of course, it's easier said than done, but I think it's something to work on.
I totally agree on that. But I think there's also another aspect to this, right? So this trader has been trading for 3 years and he decided to give up. It might be good. It might be good as well. So let's say if we look at the other aspects, maybe he's really not suitable to be a trader, but we don't know about that.
Yep.
Like in my case, I think I only gotten profitable like in 4th year or so, right? So I think 3 years is somewhat a cycle, right? Because like in trading, the toughest last. And of course, until today, even if you have a very mechanical system, a profitable system, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be profitable every single trade. So to look it on the other side of things, right? Like what you said, right? Having a mechanical system, right? But being able to follow through is another.
Definitely.
It's another thing. So I think my opinion would be it's either good or either bad. I cannot say like it's totally going to be good, because I don't think everyone is suitable to be a trader.
Yes.
Right? It's not like trading is going to be for everyone, but let's say if you really have a passion in this game, I would say like you could try to, continue on, because who knows what will change in the next year,
Yep.
right? But of course, do it in a systematic way, like what one mentioned. I think
Yep.
it's one way to go.
I think this 3 years of pain maybe is also part of a trader's journey that most traders actually go through.
You've been through it as well.
Yes, you've all been through it, and it's somewhat necessary, or I might say that there are benefits to this, because then you actually realize a lot of things, and then you may actually start to realize the value of having a proper trading system. If from the get-go, people tell you need to journal, you need to have this, have that, you might not want to listen. You might think you're a good trader. But having gone through this, you're in a better position to understand the value of being more mechanical and removing emotions from your trades.
But of course, like having a trading group or a group of friends or community, at least you have some sort of motivation
Support system,
some support system there lah. Like for me, I have a friend, the co-founder Adam. Like we've been training together and all those things. So it's a lot easier on the journey, of course. But then there's hard times as well. But I think at the end of the day, if this is the passion, of course, pursue it. If you find out that it's not suitable for you, you don't have the passion in this anymore, then I mean, like if you found out early, which is good, right? Better if you go in the industry for over like 10 years, 15 years, then you found out, oh, I don't like this.
Yep.
This is not the life I want. Like for us, we love the game. That's why we stay in the game. Yeah, simple as that.
Right. So moving on to the second segment. I came to this realization as I just kept repeating the same mistakes and never learned from them. An example would be that I would be in a perfectly good trade and then talk myself out of it almost every time, to just then watch it work, chase it, and lose money. Other things include using ridiculous stop losses that make no sense, being greedy, and just making bizarre, emotionally driven trades.
So you're saying that
Basically, he's making the same mistakes over and over again. Then he self-sabotages his own trades. So he sees that he's in a perfectly good trade, but he always talks himself out of letting it run. So he
Okay.
cuts it short,
okay.
always.
So I think it's a confidence issue then.
Confidence issue, yeah. Definitely you will have a confidence issue if you do not have a properly defined strategy or plan in the first place, because you do not have the probabilities. If you have a well-defined system, at least you know probabilities working for you. At least you trust the process. You just let it run, let it do its thing, because you have done the hard work outside of the real execution. But he does not have this confidence. Obviously, it's because he does not have a well-defined plan or a strategy to address what's going on.
Or maybe he's just sticking on to the charts for too long.
Also, that can affect your
Right?
emotions.
Like
Definitely.
before the market opens, let's say we did our pre-market analysis, correct? Generally, we will have some sort of bias whether if we want to go long or go short,
Yep.
correct? So, but let's say if he's not capable of like managing his emotionals, maybe it's just one thing is changing the time frame. Well, let's say if you're trading the daily time frame, I think it's a lot easier because you don't need to look at the chart that often,
Yep.
right?
Emotionally, it's easier.
Let's say if they're trading end of day, right? Every single day you just need to look at the chart once. You'll find it a lot more easier to follow the plan, and there's really not much that you could sabotage yourself. I mean, like let's say if you're looking into a minutes time frame, right? The decision that that person will need to make is like, let's say for an hour, if they're looking at a 1 minute time frame, it's a 60 times of decision.
Yep.
So it could be due to decision fatigue, I would say.
Definitely.
It could be due to decision fatigue.
Mental
and
fatigue, everything fatigue.
everything fatigue. So I think reducing the chart time should be able
will
to
help. Definitely, it will help for in this person's case. And also, you could see that he acknowledges that he actually does use ridiculous stop losses that make no sense, being greedy, and make bizarre emotionally driven trades.
I think fear of losing is a,
Fear of
is a,
losing
is a big
is
part as well.
of it.
It's a
But
big part.
at least I would say that this guy has a good level of self-awareness.
Yep. I agree with
So
that.
from there, it's you're already better than the average retail trader. I would not tell him to give up at this point because he's gone further than most retail traders.
I mean, like just reducing the chart time helps. Like for me myself, the case, reducing the chart time helps me a lot more, right? Just I mean, like sometimes in trading, you just need to make a couple of decisions.
Correct.
It's actually that simple. I mean, like it's the human factors that are actually complicating it.
Yep. Because you already planned it out. You tested your system. You just let it play out. You fall back onto your system. You trust your system. Trust the process. So it becomes much less emotionally taxing for yourself.
Yeah, but of course, understanding losses is part of the journey. It's part of the
part of the
game.
journey.
So let's say if we treat trading as a business, right? The losses are just expenses. So if we could look at it that way, then the losses are actually necessary. There's no way that you could find like 100% winning holy grail strategy.
Yeah.
I really don't believe that. I think understanding that losses is an expenses, you need to pay for that cost, then you could, get in the blues, the wins.
Yeah.
So
That's changing a bit of perspective on the mindset on looking at losses. It's not something disastrous. It's just part of what you should be expecting, right? And also when you see problems like this, you should look at it as an opportunity to learn.
I think most of the profitable traders are just they develop some sort of armor, correct? Like failure is just a part of the game. It's a part of the journey. So there's no need to dwell too much on that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a prerequisite. Okay, so moving on. In summary, I would just be in constant fear and overthink or overanalyze everything to death instead of just doing it. I wouldn't even say I'm bad at reading the charts. My gut is actually correct more than 50% of the time. So in theory, I should be profitable, but the emotional aspect I just couldn't get over. It's like when I went into the markets every day, my brain would be in self-sabotage mode.
Should be the sizing issue then. Maybe he's just placing too big of a size.
Could be as well. But the thing is,
Over-risking.
yes,
Over-risking. I think over-risking is a major problem for a lot of traders as well. If you're taking just a 0.1% risk of the total capital, the total portfolio, I mean, you wouldn't even care or bother whether if it wins or lose, right, the trade, right? But let's say if you're taking 10% or 5% of your portfolio, the total capital, the loss can be quite intense.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
We could like wipe off your portfolio in just like what, like 10 trades if you're taking a 10% position.
And definitely lead to poor decision making.
Poor decision.
Definitely.
So I think reducing the size
It will help.
it could help. Yeah.
Yep. So because of this, I went through levels of severe depression, anxiety, and it pretty much destroyed my relationships and health, both mentally and physically, which is really why I needed to quit. And this is the dark side to it. It hurts to quit, but I think I needed a reality check after not making any money after 3 years.
I think it happens to most traders. I think at least 90% of traders don't make it. Like even if you go on and take a degree, it takes you like what, 3 to 4 years to complete the degree, right?
Yep.
I mean, in trading, we should also treat it as the same. It's not an industry whereby you could come in, although the process is simple. You just got to click, buy or sell, right? You don't even need to input any stop loss or take profits. That's your risk management. But I think it's too simplified, whereby it's best to have like some sort of structure to like what you said, the systems, right?
Yep.
So I think in 3 years, not being profitable is really normal. It's really normal. Like for my case, I'm not even profitable within 3 years.
But here, the quite significant part is where he talked about his relationships and his health is both destroyed. So what this means is he really did not set clear boundaries as to how much time he should be spending on the charts, on his family. It's just basically all in, and then
Rushing.
Yeah, rushing just to get the results, and it results in burnout, and it's affecting everything else. So it all plays into what we talked about earlier. Like, you have a better position sizing, you have a better defined system, you set your boundaries better. How many times you're gonna look at the chart per day? How many hours you're gonna look at the chart? So if you know that this is a problem, then you need to look less, and then you probably have to tweak your system so that you do not have to look at the chart so often. So looking at longer time frames, as Dixon said, right? Or having smaller position sizes so it's less stressful.
Most of the profitable traders that I know, they actually spend a lot less time looking at the charts. And of course, let's say if your own life you're not happy, then why do you trade? Why we all started trading is to have a better life,
Yep.
right? So let's say if it's deteriorating your life, maybe there's something that's doing wrong. Like in my opinion right now, I think he might be rushing,
Yep.
right? He might be trying to get rich quick. Of course, we started all this
Yep.
journey trying to get rich quick, but
Yep.
when the reality sets in, it's not, right? So I think even if it's not quitting, right? I mean, he already have all the necessary knowledge and skills in the market. So let's say if he could just, enjoy life a little bit more, maybe it could help with the P&Ls.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
I mean, a lot of traders fall into this trap where they feel that, I need to be doing more of the clicking and the trading. The more I do, the faster I get the results. Unfortunately, that is
Not the case.
not the case. As Dixon mentioned earlier about the support system, that is actually very important for your mental health. You find people that share what you're going through, they understand, and you have people to talk to. That's very important because non-traders will not understand what traders are going through.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
you will need to find your group of a community to join. Maybe the social aspects very important. Okay.
I mean, it's impossible if you want to tell your mother, hey, look at this
Yeah. Nobody.
order block.
Yeah.
Support and resistance. I mean, I don't think they will understand any of that.
No.
Right.
I think like most people, I was drawn in by the fact that you could make good living working as an entrepreneur. But honestly, and it hurts to admit it, I'm just not built to be an independent person. I need a boss or someone telling me what to do, as I'm pretty much incapable of making my own decisions and taking risks. A more structured lifestyle, maybe because I have been too conditioned through school. He's just drawn in by the fact that it's basically you're your own boss when you're trading. So he's drawn in by that aspect, and
He's drawn in by that aspect,
but he realizes that he may not be cut out for it, because he realizes that he may just need a boss to tell him what to do, come to work, and get a paycheck end of the month.
okay.
That is true. Not everybody's cut out to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody's cut out to have that kind of a discipline, to create structure, to hold yourself accountable. Some actually need something external, like like what he said, a boss telling him what to do, and he just goes there and he just does it and gets paid end of the month. Some people just need to do that. So
It's not right or wrong.
there's just no right or
It's-
wrong.
it's
It's just different kinds of people, right?
personality.
Yeah. So well, maybe that may be the case for him. So something to think about. Okay, this is the last part of his story. I will quit trading and instead move to investing. Okay, where you need to think about it much less, rather than trying to guess the move every day, as I'm just not built for the day trading lifestyle. Also, I already know I'm going to get some comments about you are what you think, etc., etc. But I genuinely think some people like myself need a reality check, as it's more of a personality thing.
Are you going to invest like I mean, invest is also a trade, in my opinion. In my opinion, it depends on the duration of that trade.
Mm-hmm. But probably he's
Is he
talking
not
about
going to sell
investing long term. He's
like-
talking about investing long term.
Like how long?
Not sure.
Like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to sell it.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
trade.
different ball game as well.
It depends on what sort of
Investing you're talking about, so it's hard to tell.
market is looking to invest in as well.
Yeah.
Stocks, crypto.
Or perhaps he's talking about
ETFs.
position trading. Also, we're not sure, right? But then again, look looking for ways so you can reduce your chart time, okay, then I would say
Investing is a good way.
that's a positive a step that he is taking. So I think that's actually good. Like I said, the trading system, the well-defined trading system, you just have to tweak it over time to make sure that it really suits your personality, so you can really execute with the least hesitation, with the least emotional investment possible, as mechanical as possible. I think that people tend to, a mistake that generally traders make is they tend to over romanticize the adrenaline filled aspects of trading or live trading. The clicking, the chart, the low time frames, the volatility, is over romanticized. When actually I think that we should be focusing and glorifying more the preparation,
The boring stuff.
the boring stuff, the planning, the mindset, the working on your own mindset, the post trade analysis, all the things that actually happen off the battlefield, not on the battlefield. So battle is won off the battlefield in the preparation and the planning, not on the battlefield. So, like for example, I always quote Kobe Bryant, right? He's during the off season, he's actually he's training 6 hours a day, 6 days a week for that 6 months. So during the same time, most other people, they're not doing the same thing. He knows, and he wakes up at 3 a.m. to start training and splits his training throughout the day. So all that you see on the court is a result of what you don't see on the court. It's a direct consequence. So whatever you do off the court is what you see. The result is on the court.
I agree.
So that's the thing that we have to consider. We should be glorifying the preparation and the planning more.
But of course, like for this guy, let's say if he's switching from trading to investing, right? I think if he don't solve the psychological issue that he have right now, the fear of losing, I think it's almost the same case, right? Let's say if you were to invest into a stock or ETFs, for example, and you're checking it every single day.
Also,
I mean,
yes,
right?
correct.
I think it's the same case. So I think at the end of the day, the psychological aspects is one thing that he will need to put
Find
more
ways
effort
to address.
into.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Like truly, but because he already got the first part, he
Yep.
have this awareness.
Yes, correct.
He understands what is his psychological traits, what is his the mistakes that he made. So,
Yep.
I mean, the hardest part would be identifying the issue, having the awareness, right?
having the awareness is the hardest part.
So right now comes to the easier part, creating system around that,
Yep.
right? So I think, going into investing, but of course,
Yep.
it's a good choice, right? But of course, the psychological part, the systems
Yep.
that he will need to build in order for
Yep.
him to thrive in the investing world or the position trading sort of style,
Yep.
I think that will bring him a lot further.
He's established quite a good baseline from which he can then work upon, because he knows his weaknesses and what to address.
Yeah.
So I think
But if it's just merely just going into investing without addressing all these issues,
no,
I think
it's the same outcome. Yeah.
the same outcome. Yeah.
Right. I think that's
Is
it.
that all?
So till the next one, maybe.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Cheers.